Welcome everybody. We are back. Spent the day watching some Fleet Week streams. May have won myself a responders bundle. Don't know yet. The code I had received unfortunately was invalid, so they're gonna work with Kale on that, but still. I'm still excited, regardless, especially on this account because what I have, this right here, this is going right straight for my my 10th anniversary whenever I get enough to get it, and so just to be able to possibly get something like the Bozeman, which is a really nice ship, is pretty excited. There's a couple other things that have happened. There have been some ships have been released. So the first one being the Valdez. There we go. Got that up there. Which is a strike force that's coming out. Which is really cool. Let me see if I grabbed a picture of its seating too. I think I did. Image. Two. Sure. And yeah. So the seating is not bad. It's not amazing. I was looking at some Strikewing escorts afterwards, and it seems like they are more of a. This is kind of on par with the Terran Strikewing. I'll just go ahead and do that. Kind of on par with the Terran Strikewing. It's very similar, but not similar. It's different and the same at the same time. It's really hard to say, but it is a 5.2. Yeah. Now this only has 10 consoles, which means that so 4, 3, and 3. So 10 consoles, which means there's a fleet variant. I'm assuming by looking at the other Strikewing escorts, the fleet version will add a tactical. That's what I'm assuming. The ships that were on here, everybody seems to be excited about. The fighters, because they're kind of like the Klingon fighter, because they have torpedoes. I don't know if that's overly something to be excited about. But as for the seating, the thing I don't like about this is there's no second lieutenant commander that I could put on to the tactical, which is my preference. If I was to have a preferential seating on here, we'd have the commander tac, lieutenant commander tac, a lieutenant commander engineering, and a lieutenant science with a universal ensign. But that's really that is asking for a lot. That is asking for a whole lot. I don't think that's going to happen. Will it work? Yeah. Not sure where it sets, except for the fact that it's a. I mean, it's a Norway, which is probably one of the oldest. Well, it's one of the original designs that was in the game, so that's kind of exciting. I actually never really liked the Norway. Let me go here. Acquire ships. And I believe it's Lieutenant Commander. No, it is the Commander ship. So this is like so they weren't allowed to have the Norway until now, which is what some people are excited about. So this was the kind of Norway that they had in the game for a long time. Yeah, because those were the others. So yeah, so I mean, I was never excited about the design. I never liked the Oslo design either. It wasn't one of my things. I did like the Akira design, and I like its other versions on the Armitage and the Alita. I remember when the Armitage first came out, I had got it and I flew it for a very long time. Until I think I flew this until what ended up being the T5. I can't even think of this race's name. Until the T5 versions of the ships came out. And then I actually flew those because, 5 weapons up front are way better than 4 weapons. Even back then, 5 weapons were better. And so, yeah, that's exciting. It's new. The other ship being the. Can I edit this? Oh yeah, I can edit it. The other one being the Seneca, which has the fleet version of the Hiawatha. I'll be honest with you, I don't know enough about science ships to say whether or not this is good or not. Just the way it is, unfortunately. I'm trying to learn about science ships. It's something that I'm going to struggle to do. Actually, this seating is way better than the other one. I don't like the. I don't like the ensign science on there, but I mean that's just going to happen. I was unlocking some traits today on actually it was on this account. I unlocked some traits on this account. On I just went through and did the science ships, which yeah, this has a commander and an ensign. And I just put I think it was either polarized hole or something. I don't know. It wasn't overly important or what it was, but yeah, I just put some minor thing on there that you use for defense. But yeah, so I guess it's an alright, just kind of a with this. So this would be your tactical. This would also be a tactical slot, and then you only have 3 on the engineering, which kind of limits stuff. With the specialties on here, I wouldn't know what to put there. This doesn't look like it's much of a torpedo type boat. If it is intended to be a torpedo boat, I mean, there's much better stuff on there. So Yeah. Those are some couple of new things that were announced yesterday. They also announced some updates on some of the older ship designs, such as is it also the Commander? No, because that's 4. It is this one. They are updating this design. Which I remember the first time I ran through this. I'm trying to remember what I actually used. Wasn't that one, that's for sure. I probably kit bashed something together. Actually, it was probably this. I probably ran with the refit, just for reasons. Was never a big fan of this design or this design. Actually, both of these, I think, both of them are getting reskinned, which is fine, just because they're ships as old as the game, so it's not as surprising. And they wouldn't be remaking them. So, like, this right here was remade recently. It's the science one. Yeah, this was remade recently. And then this has multiple versions. This was remade. Is that correct? Noble. Yep. That one was remade. I wouldn't be surprised if they remake this one. Stargazer. Actually, it's pretty close to the new ship. But yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that this is not. Actually, I'm not surprised, because they did explain why the new Stargazer is not compatible with this, because the dimensions are way off compared to this ship, which makes sense. You know, this one right here, when it first came out, I'm surprised they don't have what setting is it? The temporal eyeball, this one right here. I really wish these parts here were available on the Noble, just because I want to have the nacelles, but they're not. But yeah, but some changes to some designs on the on some of the old shuttles that come with one of the ships. I think the Seneca / Hiawatha. But new ships. They've been kind of slow to releasing C-store ships. So for them to get new ones and for them to update old models is always good. Trying to think. Well, that's been updated. This has been updated too. That's newer. I think everything here in Tier 1 has been updated. That just got updated, though most of these designs have been updated. That's got a Tier 6 ship. Tier 6 ship. Actually, that's the question you should be asking is, does it have a Tier 6 ship? Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Actually, technically, no. That's one of the ships that, in a stream, people were asking the Ranger for a T6 version. And they kind of coyly said, yeah, maybe. That has a T6 version. And So there's the Mikowski, which has a T6 version, and the Walker that has a couple T6 versions. And the NX class has a T6 version. And this is a T6 version. So they have actually updated all of those, except for the Ranger, which will eventually come, pretty sure. That has the T6 version. T6. Bird of Prey's all have. Raptors all have T6 versions too. Actually, kind of curious. That doesn't. Well, they don't. I'm not sure if it has them. That also has a T6 version. I don't like this T6 version. But yeah. And I guess I think that's what they're probably going to go do. This does not have a T6 version, so that's probably something that they're going to work in soon. Kira possibly getting a legendary. I actually looked. I watched the video where they were talking about that, where people pull the image. I cannot find the image. I don't know if they went in after the fact and removed, like, clipped that portion out. But yeah. The Akira possibly has a legendary version coming out. And I got cats fighting in my room. Ollie, I need you to stop being mean. Come here. Come here, bud. Yep, distracted the cat long enough for the other cat to get out. Alright. T6 version, of course, Bird of Prey always has a T6 version. This kind of T6 that has a T6 version. I actually like this ship. It's actually pretty nice. Go through. Those have T6 version. Does it count as T6 version? Oh, wait. I don't know if they count as T6 versions. But yeah. I'm rambling on here about stuff. But yeah, so that's what I think they're probably going to be doing. Then, if they're doing that, then the only thing that really stands out that doesn't have a T6 version is this. And I wonder if they're going to go with the Eric Henry models some more on those, because that's what the models are. Except for the Seneca. The Seneca is not a Eric Henry. I think that's what his name is. The one who did the most recent. Boop. Boop. I really wish they'd add more options for organizing this stuff. It's always funny when you see an Eric Henry model because they all kind of look the same. He really likes his curves. But once you start seeing them, it makes sense. That's an Eric Henry model. That's an Eric Henry model. And they all basically have the kind of the same design. So yeah, but that's besides the point. I am actually going to try to go do a mission, since I just talked here for 20 minutes about nothing, except for stuff I'm excited about. And that is true. I am excited about some stuff coming out. I need to actually So I do some stuff. Well, while I'm watching streams, I don't want to log out. What am I doing? I turn the volume down. Just now realizing my volume is turned down because I mean it did allow me to go through and grab a whole bunch of traits, none of which I'm going to use, but every ship I have now I've unlocked the traits for, so that's cool. But let's go. Oh, I should have talked about that. I think I shall. So, slight rant. So, something I'm not excited about. We can just pull this up, right? Yeah. So it's not going to show it there. So the whole new event that they have going on. This one here. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. So last year was the first year I played it. I don't think... Listen to some people. I don't think that was a TFO until last year, and it was a new one. My issue with it is it's all right. There's some things about it that I don't like. How it adds difficult mechanics to a TFO, and unless you're playing with a group of people who are trying to finish it, sometimes difficult mechanics can be a little frustrating for people who are trying to finish the TFO and people who aren't. But it's all right. My main issue with it is that it doesn't fit in with Star Trek Online. I remember talking to my wife last year, and she was asking me what I was doing. And I started explaining the mission to her, and I was like, it's like they took a mission out of like ESO or some other game, some fantasy game, and shoved it into Star Trek and said Halloween. And so, not the biggest fan of it, just because it's always like immersion and breaking. And I do understand that Star Trek Online is basically a theme park, and they came out and said it's a theme park. It's where you get to go play with your favorite characters that you've seen from TV shows. I understand that, but there's just some stuff that just like breaks the immersion of that theme park really bad. But yeah, just my little own personal rant on it. With that being said, let's get going. Understood. I'll find the chief logistics officer. Are you the chief logistics officer?
You're just in time. Please follow me to Sub-Commander Cole.
Understand. I'll go to Sub-Commander Cole.
Good to see you again. We now know why the sphere generates vast amounts of omega particles. It is designed to use those particles as fuel to jump to any area of space. There is a space station that controls the jumps in close orbit of the sphere's star. Admiral Tuvok from Starfleet was selected to lead a small team to the station to try to disable it. With him is Dr. Eric Cooper, a scientist who has been studying Dyson and Iconian technology. Something's gone wrong. 2 hours ago, we received a distress signal from Tuvok. Please use the console to download the signal. Afterward, I'd like to hear your opinion of the situation.
I understand. I'll listen to Tuvok's message.
Joint Command, please respond. This is Tuvok. Sensors have detected a large Voth fleet moving toward the station. They have discovered us, and we have yet to complete our work. Communications with our ship are down. Our last contact with them indicated that they were having technical difficulties and may be forced to retreat to a safer location. I will be unable to stop a Voth advance without assistance.
Close the distress signal. Speak with Commander Cole.
The attack on the Voth fleet will commence shortly. Captains, please return to your ships.
Tuvok and Cooper are stranded with an entire Voth fleet bearing down on them. I need you to fly to the station, rescue our team, and finish the mission. Our fleet will engage the Voth to help keep them distracted. But to avoid detection, you'll need to fly roughly 100 kilometers above the surface of the star.
What about using a cloaking device instead of flying near the sun?
The Voth are actively scanning for ships approaching the station. They can detect our cloaked ships, which is another issue we're trying to solve. This is our best option. The star's magnetic field will make it impossible for most sensors to pick up your ship. With luck, your ship will not have to fly close to the star's surface for very long.
Very well. I'll fly the Tucker over the sun. What's the plan?
Speak with the logistics officer assigned to brief your crew on the situation. With your permission, we can help your engineers set up a temporary modulation for your shield frequencies that should allow your ship to travel that close to the sun safely.
Very good. I'll speak with the logistics officer.
Greetings. Our engineers are working with your crew now to create a temporary modulation program that will help your shields protect your ship from the heat and radiation you will encounter on your way to the sun station. Your ship should be able to safely make the trip, but it won't be able to remain in orbit of the station.
Where should the Tucker go after I'm on station?
We will need every available ship to fight the Voth. It would be best if your ship joined the fleet once you are aboard the station. Your goals on the station are to find Admiral Tuvok, assist him to shut down the sphere's jump capabilities, and then retreat before the Voth fleet arrives. Do you have any questions?
If the Tucker's with the fleet, what's our escape plan?
Admiral Tuvok traveled to the station in a new starship, specifically designed to withstand the conditions there. The Dyson has reported some technical issues, but they should still be in transporter range. It will be standing by to assist you when you've completed your mission.
Understood. I'll return to my ship. Actually, got my officers here. Tucker will hold together. Plot a course to the station. Best possible speeds. Very well. We'll prepare the solar flare inhibitors, then contact Tuvok.
Your arrival is timely. The Voth are already on the station. I am with Dr. Cooper, but many of the other members of our team have been killed. Any assistance you can render would be useful. I recommend that you speak to your crew before transport. Your vessel will not be able to remain in range for long.
Understood. I'll be there soon. Support the fleet once I leave.
Greetings. I am Admiral Tuvok. The man behind the crates is Dr. Eric Cooper, the Federation Science Council's expert on Dyson technology.
Yes. Hello, I'm Dr. Cooper.
Allow me to brief you on the situation, so we may determine the best plan of action. Main power is offline. I am not sure what caused this disruption, but the event was fortunate. The darkness is a distinct tactical advantage. There are manual overrides in each room. I have temporarily disabled the one between us and the Voth. The Dyson's captain has moved ahead to determine what is beyond the next door.
What can you tell me about the station?
There are 2 generator rooms that control much of the station's operations. The generator room to the south controls the power. The control room to the west, where the Voth are, maintains the station's jump capabilities. It is imperative we reach the west control room and disable it before the Voth jump this sphere back to their space. The release of the Omega particles needed for this reaction would be catastrophic.
How many Voth are between us and the control room?
More than the 3 of us can safely engage. Defeat would be certain. However, if we restore main power, we can use the station's automated defenses to even the odds, if we can avoid being targeted by them ourselves. I understand you have extensive combat experience. Do you have any suggestions?
Cole mentioned you had a ship in orbit. Could they help?
I have attempted to hail them, but received no response. The ship's shields and hull plating are designed to withstand the extreme amounts of heat, pressure, and radiation generated by this sphere's star. However, it is a prototype vessel on its first voyage. There were several unexpected system failures. The communications array must be among them. The ship has retreated to a safe location to make repairs. Until they are able to complete them, they will not be able to assist us.
Then our best option is to get the captain and make our way to the generator room.
We're moving away from the Voth, right?
Good thing you're here. I'll try to get the ship...
I sense another presence. We are not alone. am not detecting the Voth that killed the captain. He is using cloak technology. Tactically, his best option is to remain hidden and attempt to waylay us one by one. We must move forward. The trapped Voth will be attempting to circumvent my modifications. What do you suggest?
Protect Cooper. He will need your help.
Voth! Oh, sorry. I thought I saw something.
Remain calm, Doctor. The defenses in here can be quite lethal.
It was awful. The sounds, the blood. Ugh.
I will stand watch while you and the doctor examine the generator.
If I understand this correctly, we can restore main power activating consoles that match the symbol up here. After the first one is activated, we'll only have 20 seconds to activate the other two. If we don't, the system will defend itself. Also, activating the wrong consoles will trigger the system's defenses. Be careful. That looks right. That looks right. That did it. The final console is unlocked.
This does not bode well. By restoring main power, we have released the locks, preventing the Voth from reaching our location. They will already be on the move. We will require Cooper's assistance to subvert the automated defenses for our own use. The Doctor is an expert in the technology found on this sphere. This is well within his capabilities.
I'll talk to Cooper.
What are we going to do? The Voth will be here any second, and I don't think they're in the mood to take prisoners. Please, you have to get me out of here. I'm not like you and Tuvok. I'm much too important to die here.
Calm down. We'll get out of here alive if you help us.
My help? What could I do? You and Tuvok have done everything so far. I don't even know how to use a phaser. I just want to go back to my lab. I was never meant for field work.
Tuvok said no one knows this technology better than you do. You can do this, Cooper.
Tuvok said that? Well, maybe. I might know the technology, but I don't work well under pressure. I need time and space to think, and I need to be able to do my work without fear of being killed. I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Cooper, I believe in you. You can do this.
All right. I'll try. If we're here, and the station's defenses are active, but we're not under attack. But if that's the case, wait. I can do this. Just give me a moment.
Do it.
I think if I try this...
Dr. Cooper, we require a solution.
I I'm working on it. Vulcans. If I can just try that... Yes, I have it. I've done something. I'm not ready for what's being thrown at me here. Maybe I could activate the beams or something else?
Allow me, Doctor. Fascinating. With this exposed, I can manually activate the defenses in the next room. However, there is another possibility.
What is it?
Instead of activating the defenses to assist you, I can reroute the power to attempt to send a message to our stranded ship. It may not help, but we have been out of contact for hours. Your options are activating the defense beams, activating swarmers, or using none of them.
What are the odds without defenses?
Slim enough that I cannot recommend it. However, if you choose to do so, I will support you.
It's our best option. We'll fight the Voth without any support.
I'll wait here. You go on ahead.
More Voth inbound. Prepare yourself. Voth commanders are approaching.
Wait, did I break it? If I do this.
We should move forward. Be on your guard.
So that's actually worked before. On a different mission. All right.
Arm yourself. It is the Voth who killed the captain. That was an explosion of sufficient magnitude to cause a breach. Doctor, what is your status?
I'm fine. The Voth can't get in. You, may want to put a shield up around the next door before you open it.
It would appear all that is between us and our goal is the vacuum of space. My modifications successfully locked the Voth out of this area. However, there was an armed Voth battlesuit in the corridor. The station's automated swarmers attacked, and this is the result.
Tried to contact the Dyson again. They could transport us across.
No response. According to my readings, there is no method of direct access. Unless your ship is within range, we are stranded.
I'll try to hail the Tucker. Nothing. Should we wait for Cooper?
I'm here. Wait.
Doctor, we require a way to access the other areas of the station. Your thoughts?
I have an idea, but you may not like it. Those EV suits over there. They have maneuvering jets that we could use on the outside of the station. I've looked them over, and they should be able to withstand the heat of the sun.
Should.
Well, nothing will withstand that much heat and radiation for long. The suits appear to be designed for use in the shadow of the station. But, technically, they can keep us safe. For a little while.
They will have to suffice. We have no other logical option.
Doctor, are you going to prepare your suit?
Me? Of course not. It's far too risky for me to go out there.
We will need to convince Cooper to overcome his fear and help us complete our mission.
Do you really need me out there? Internal comms are still active. I could just tell you what you have to do. I really can't stand any more stress. I have no idea why Admiral Tuvok chose me for this project. I'm not trained for field work. If I get home alive, I'm writing a letter to the Federation Science Council. I'll file a formal complaint.
Doctor, we need you with us. We cannot go without you.
I know. But flying over a star? It's crazy. I don't even like using the holodeck. All I can think about is how I'm going to burn to a crisp and die horribly, away from everyone I care about.
I need you to have confidence. When I die, I'll help you.
Well, I've seen the stories about you. You've been through a lot for one captain. If you can do this, maybe I can too. I'll get my EV suit.
Good man.
Let's go.
You'll be fine. Breathe, Cooper.
Conserve your oxygen. There is a large piece of debris blocking the station's entrance. There is a large amount of debris blocking the entrance. It will be impossible for us to move it without assistance. I can scan the area for anything that may be of use.
Good idea.
There are two objects of interest. The first is the remains of a Voth battlesuit. There is a mortar payload within it that we can place onto the debris. The second is the remains of a swarmer, specifically a miniaturized communications device. We could use it to detonate the mortar remotely.
You get the communicator, I'll get the payload.
I suggest flying a safe distance before activating the charges. The door is sealed. Any ideas, Doctor?
There should be a manual release for the locks above us.
right.
I will establish a shield.
Enemy targets on sensors.
The doors are open. Dr. Cooper and I will wait for you inside.
I'm surprised I can't see the battle.
These suits are fried. I doubt they'll be much use anymore.
Yet they're probably one of the best suits in the game. .43 damage resistance. Energy, and this says no energy damage resistance. Yeah, we'll just stick with that one. I didn't even check to see which one I got, to actually be honest with you. So if you know, ever wanted to know, there's actually a question. There's actually a couple of questions you answer, and it gives you a different suit. So this is the striker one that gives critical hit and damage.
Something has closed the doors. Most unsettling.
I think the station's defenses are activating.
Enemy targets on sensors. Taking damage detected. Shield losing power.
We should move forward before more defenses activate.
It's a mission like this is the reason why the auto rifle is one of the better weapons.
Use caution. The Windows shields are malfunctioning in this area. The shadows of those consoles should provide a measure of safety.
Get that fancy suit that can withstand being outside but can't stand in here.
The shields will hold. Our destination is ahead. We must power down the room's shielding to access the control panels. The doctor and I will continue our work while you disable the lower panels.
This design also does not make sense. Why would you have dangerous lasers in your control panel?
the shields and we can complete our mission. The honor of deactivating the station is yours.
There we go. The deactivation program is moving nicely.
Doctor, I'm detecting something curious. Energy levels in the gateway in front of us are rising at an exponential rate. It appears to be activating.
What? Let me check. Oh, this is not good. The gateway is designed to be an escape hatch in the event this station goes offline. We cannot deactivate the jump protocols without activating the gateway as well.
Is there any way to override the protocols?
None that I can see. If we want to stop the jump, we have to activate that gate.
It seems we have little choice. Your thoughts?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That didn't come with me.
As Tuvok said, we have no choice. If we want to stop this sphere from moving, we need to activate the gateway. Our time here is limited. The Voth will return in force. We have to do this now. There is no other option.
The risk is too high. We can't open another gateway.
I know you have a past with the Iconian gateways, but our options are limited. The choice is logical. If the Voth jump the sphere to an area near their homeworld, billions of Omega particles will be expended. With the degradation of the sphere's systems caused by centuries of disuse, there is an 86.8% chance that the expenditure will cause an Omega detonation, destroying subspace across a vast region of the Delta Quadrant. The alternative is opening a single gateway. That is far less of a risk.
The risk is too high. We can't activate the gateway.
That is your choice. However, my orders are to neutralize the jump capabilities of this sphere. I will have to do what I think is best, even if you do not agree.
No, I'll do it.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could have found a better way. I failed you both.
Do not dwell on this. If there was another option, we would have found it. One moment. We are being hailed. Tuvok here.
Chief Engineer Tarkram of the Dyson here, Admiral.
Acknowledged, Chief. Are all of your systems restored?
The opening of the gateway cleared up the ambient distortion disruptions. Do you need transport?
Yes, I want to get off this station now.
We are ready to depart. Chief, do you have a lock?
Admiral Tuvok, come in!
Dyson, 3 to beam up.
We can't get a lock. You need to get out of the hot zone. Move!
We're going to die! We're going to die!
We have a lock on you, sir. Just give the word.
Beam is up.
Good to have you on board, sir. I'm Chief Engineer Tarkram. The fleet and your ship are still engaged with the Voth, but several Voth ships are making their way towards the gateway. One of their dreadnoughts has already passed through. As the only available ship, we have orders to stop the other Voth from entering the gateway.
Okay. Don't need threatening stance, don't need that. Get rid of that. Don't really need that. I'm gonna go to warp. Get rid of you, get rid of you. Subspace fold. I'm not exactly sure why subspace fold is on there because it actually doesn't work. I've never seen it work. This, get rid of this. Alright. Defensive, defensive. Offensive, secondary. Offensive. Offensive. Defensive. Defensive. Tactical. Alright. So this over here. I'll pull off these science abilities. Omega. Tactical. Understood. Let's see what this ship can do.
There are no more Voth in the vicinity, but one dreadnought did go through the gateway. If my readings are correct, it is passing into another Dyson sphere, this one deeper in the Delta Quadrant. If the Voth are allowed to enter another sphere, they will try to claim it, as they have fought to claim this one.
Let's go to the gateway and stop them.
Navigational readings indicate we are in the Delta Quadrant. However, we are inside a Dyson sphere, and there are no known structures of this type in this region. I'm detecting the presence of a Starfleet vessel, the USS Gold. That ship disappeared on a survey of the Janolan Dyson sphere at the precise instant the Iconian Gateway network was reset to save New Romulus.
Janolan Dyson Spear?
This sphere was discovered by the crew of the USS Janolan in 2294. The USS Enterprise D rescued Montgomery Scott, a survivor of the Janolan 75 years later. However, it now appears that the Janolan sphere had the same jump capabilities as the Solanae, and moved to this location with the Gold inside.
Interesting. What's the status of the Gold?
I am detecting disabled systems on the Gold, but there is no weapons damage. Also, sensors indicate that the Voth Dreadnought has its weapons armed, but has not fired. What do you suggest?
Hail the Gold. Find out what they know.
Thank the prophets. I knew someone would find us. We were on a routine survey in the Janolan Dyson sphere when something happened. Systems that have been dormant for centuries activated. The energy readings were off the scale. Then a flash and...
We're here now. You're not alone.
My nav computer claims we're in the Delta Quadrant. If that's right, this entire Dyson sphere somehow moved itself more than 50,000 light years from its previous position. Since then, we've been stuck. I would have taken Voyager's path back home if we could get out of the sphere. The doors were locked tight and the gateway powered down as soon as we arrived.
The spear did not move, but we can help you return home. The spear did move, but we can help you return home.
Glad to have the help. Supplies are running low. But what was that ship that just passed us? Shares some signs of Voth tech, but our databanks don't have anything like that. Another Dyson sphere? It's taken us 40 years to study this one, and we're not even close to understanding it. And if that ship was Voth, it would explain why they ignored our hails. They came in with their weapons armed and then simply stopped. Didn't see us as a threat. The ship set course for the sealed door and is just sitting there. They're ignoring us. I promised my crew we'd get home. If you could send over a team with some spare components, I can get this ship ready to travel.
We'll transfer over a few engineers to help.
I have extensive experience with the Voth. While they are arrogant, it is not like them to completely ignore a potential threat. It may be that they sense a greater danger. I suggest we approach and attempt to hail them. Voyager found that some Voth were open to negotiation. We should make every attempt to find a peaceful solution.
Plot a course for the Voth's ship. I think my brain is getting too tired. This might have to be the last one.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
The Voth are moving towards the door.
Tuvok?
Your query will have to wait, Doctor. Shields are down and we... You're not... You're not Cooper.
The weak shall perish.
Captain, the Undine outside of the sphere are powering weapons. The mammalian ship is still disabled.
Arm all weapons. We will destroy the creatures and then return for the mammals.
I am unharmed, but we are in danger. We are deep within the Delta Quadrant, right where Cooper wanted us. We do not know how long this infiltrator has impersonated Cooper, or the extent of what he has done. However, I am quite familiar with the tactics of Species 8472. We will repel the Undine, and survive to warn the Alpha Quadrant of the renewed threat.
Finally, a worthy adversary for my new ship.
Target shield has failed.
Tupac! Frustrated! You were so
I do not get angry. I rectify my mistakes. More ships on approach. This vessel cannot defeat them alone.
This ship can take it.
I have experience with the Undine. You do not. They are extremely dangerous.
The Lasette is here to provide any assistance you require.
You're a pain! Tupac! The Alpha Quadrant will burn!
Many have tried. All have failed. 3 Undine battleships inbound.
3 battleships? That may be a problem.
We hold here. None of the Undine get through.
The Fortescue is here. Now the real fight can begin. What? Is that it? We wanted more of a fight.
It is not over yet, Captain. 2 Undine dreadnoughts are approaching.
You only delay the inevitable.
Good to see you. We would have arrived sooner, but there was a Voth fleet in the way. Congratulations on a successful mission. Now the Romulan Republic will take over. We'll set up a command center for further operations. I'm sure Command will contact you when your presence is needed.
I don't believe the Republic has authority to do that.
No, this ends now. Our generosity to the Romulans can only extend so far. The Klingon Empire claims this Dyson sphere as its own. Starfleet and the Republic would be wise to keep their distance. Or else.
This spare is already claimed by the Federation. You have no claim here.
Oh? Are you prepared to back that statement with action? The Klingon Klingon Empire has restrained itself again and again in an attempt to maintain this alliance with the Romulans. I think it's time I remind you of what happens when a Klingon loses patience.
Very well, Corn. We'll see who survives.
Fighting over this sphere is not an option. It would divide our strength. Precisely what would benefit the Undine. The Voth chose to fight instead of cooperate. They were destroyed. We can choose not to be enemies. It is time we did so.
Well, Corn.
The Klingon Empire will not sit and wait while the Federation and Romulans continue to claim these powerful weapons for themselves. This conversation is not over.
Very well. And you, Commander Jarek?
The Romulan Republic will continue to take responsibility for areas within our jurisdiction, but I do not wish to cause a rift in what has been a successful joint action. However, I will not be put in a position where I must choose between the Federation and the Klingon Empire. We have agreements on both sides that must be honored. Sub-Commander Cole can handle the details. I am a ship captain, not an administrator.
Very well.
Cooper's departure has lifted the miasma in my mind. An affliction that I did not even realize was there. He was influencing me. He used the psychic abilities of the Undine to influence my thoughts. And the results are an effect of my failure. I should have been able to detect his influence.
Oh, we must look forward. What now?
We have fulfilled our mission to neutralize the jump capabilities of the Solanae sphere, only to open up a gateway that the Undine can now use to reach our space. They will no longer have to create rifts from fluidic space. Was this Cooper's plan all along? I suggest we return to Sub-Commander Cole. We must attempt to save the fragile peace of the Alliance.
The sphere is under Federation control.
This sphere is only accessible through an Alliance-controlled gateway.
Then perhaps it is time to end this alliance.
This is neither the time nor the place for this.
Commander Jarrah is correct. The Undine are a threat to us all. Now they have direct access to our space. I propose a summit. We must decide together what we must do to protect the Alpha Quadrant. Our disputes may need to be put aside in the face of a greater enemy. I volunteer to mediate these talks. Dr. Cooper manipulated me to achieve his goals. It is only logical that I take responsibility for what has happened here.
Very well, Vulcan. We will finish this later.
I don't remember if any of these actually have cosmetic bonuses. Yeah. Try to get... Oh. Try to get as close to the end of this story as possible. Yeah, so going through this mission, and then going through the previous missions, I'm trying to figure out on when Cooper was replaced. And realistically, there's the two missions where you really have Cooper before this. Both of them are heavily involved with the Undine. Though I would say that my assumption is probably in fluidic space is when he was replaced. That's also when he seemed to have the massive amount of "get me out of here" vibes. Like in the Borg mission, he's not really trying to like escape like at all points, except at the end, which it raises some questions. But besides that, he just doesn't. It's not. He's not. Every half word out of his mouth isn't "get me out of here." So I'm assuming it's when you find him stranded in fluidic space is when he is replaced. But it's hard to say. I will say that his turn heel is basically broadcast from very, very early on. Just from the way that he seems to be fighting against you, especially in that mission. He fights against you in the whole time, just not wanting to help you or anything along those lines. And there's an alternative motive there. But alright, we're just gonna go the fast way.
Captain, you are in the Undine battle zone. Our goal is to close fluidic rifts to destroy Undine planet killers. Here is our plan. This is a map of the battle zone. We have 3 different methods of closing the rifts. When a rift is open, the area is red. When we close a rift, it will change to blue. Closing rifts advances our progress, shown by this meter. When it is full, we can launch our attack on the planet killers. We must defeat at least one planet killer for the operation to be considered a success.
Good luck.
All right. I think escalation is the last one. Nope, surface tension. Nothing really is important out of any of those. Maybe the traits. Alright. There is one reason why you try to come to this area. That is actually these. The best thing about the duty officer missions here in the Undine Battle Zone is that they are all 5 hours each, as you can see, and they're 600 points each, which puts them over 100 per hour. which is a good exchange if you actually look at the duty officer missions to begin with. So once you actually start getting here, I advise just starting them, and I'm just going to try to do one of each first and kind of fill it out. Engineering. Don't have enough for medical. Development. So the ones you don't want to do are exploration and colonial and trade, because those aren't the major ones of each of the options there. So just go ahead and fill these out. Now these refresh every, I think, 48 hours. But they're good to just get them running. Military, go do you. And do this espionage. Alright. So don't be too worried if you start doing those and you can't do them all at once, because it doesn't matter, because they have 48 hours. So you can do them. I'll probably start doing these right before I go to bed each night. I just come in here and just grab what I can in here and then continue. Because if you just look at like these other ones, like 3 hours for AD. If you're paying attention, you're doing them constantly, and then you can do these ones that are, you know, at a good 100 per hour mark. But besides that, it's really hard to find something that really gives you a good amount for the time you're spending into it. And the one thing when you're doing these, if you have duty officers that are doing back-to-back duty officer missions, they will become injured, become hurt, and then they'll end up in sick bay. And sick bay is like a 20-hour cycle where you can't use them again. So you want to make sure that when that's happening, you basically want to choose missions that have an extended period of time, that give you the most points for that extended period of time, instead of trying to do these short ones over and over and over. It's okay to do these short ones, but you do want to do the long ones too. It is, though, possible if you go into here. I'm just going to filter out the ones I can't do. Like this one is a good one to do. That was I don't do colonials, developments though. Yeah, development is kind of a special case. It's because you're never going to actually get the full points for development. Before I sign anything else on development, I'm going to check everything else. And I'm not doing this to complete anything specific. I'm just doing it to do... Oh, that's kind of awkward. You think I can do that because... And I haven't really spent any time on these, so some of these are going to be a little bit harder to complete because I don't have enough duty officers. And being that this is a free-to-play account, I'm not going to spend duty officer slots on this character because it's just a waste of Zen. So you kind of have to deal with what you have. I'm going to end up having 100 slots, and most of those slots are going to be filled with other stuff. But I'll try to spread out my duty officers as I can. It is possible to do the recruit on here for duty officers on a free-to-play account. I know this because I've done it on my Gamma Recruit, which has basically the same exact thing. 1 at 1, 2 at 2, 3 at 3. All 4 at 4, then 6 at 4. Like it's the exact same thing. And I was able to do on him with 100 duty officer slots. It did take a little bit of. Sometimes I had to get rid of a duty officer to put another duty officer on there. Especially if it's not something that's overly important. But yeah, it's possible. Just harder and more time consuming. Because like I said, if you have a duty officer that does missions twice in a row, that's a good 4-hour one. Sure. Sure. Those aren't worth the time. I think there were some engineerings or operations. I think it was operations. That had a decent 8-hour. Yep, there we go. 8-hour ones are fine because I'm going to have to wake up and go to work tomorrow anyway, so I'm not going to really have to pay attention much to it. But yeah, can I just find one more to do? Sure, do some medicals. Alright. That takes up all my slots. Starting to get my duty officer started, so that's pretty nice. And so that will be that. I'm just gonna exit out of here. So yeah, the Undine Battle Zone, great place to do duty officer missions. And you really don't need to go far in order to get to them. You just need to go to the entrance and then click on the go to the space combat area, and then it takes you right straight to that. And then you just fly a little bit closer to the actual force field off areas, and then you should see in this area down here the option for the duty officer missions. And like I said, 600 experience points, duty officer experience points for 5 hours. Great. It's probably one of the better time exchange rates that you're going to get within the duty officers themselves. And then, but thanks for everybody kind of jumping in here. I'm actually going to call it quits. I don't have enough time to do another mission here. Because if I remember right, surface tension is kind of a long one. Because first you have the conference that you have to do, which is a lot of talking. Then you have a space battle, and then you have a ground battle, and then you have a massive space battle. And don't just kind of, that's a very time consuming, especially with me trying to listen to all the things within the mission. But I am going to close it out for now. If you've liked what you've seen, please give me a like. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You'll get notified whenever I start streaming again. But thank you for watching, and hope you have a good day. Bye.